first, let me give you guys a quick update on my vehicles. So unfortunately I had to sell the Jaguar because it was, once I started digging into it to get to the stuff that it needed to actually be put back on the road, it became evident that it was much more than the car was worth. So I just put it up on Craigslist for $400 and somebody bought it. So I know you guys probably are disappointed by that, but that car would have made me broker than I already am, so sorry. Next, I also sold the Volkswagen Beetle, and that's because it got too rusty for me. So the whole front section of the frame needed to be cut out and replaced, and I was not ready for that. So the only cars I have now are my van, my blue truck, and my green work truck. All three of which I'm keeping. The van for long distance journeys, the work truck for work, and then the blue truck for my daily driver. And then I do have my classic cars, which is the Triumph Spitfire and the MGB. I'm trying to sell the MGB. So I'm pretty much down to just 3 cars, which is why I'm going to buy myself a new project. So a day ago, I put up a poll on YouTube community tab just saying, what project car do you want me to buy? Either a drift car or an off-road car. Because I think it'd be fun just to get a car and then make a bunch of videos on the upgrades I do to it, instead of what I usually do, which is get a car and then flip it and put it back on the road. But this project car, I'm thinking I'll keep for a little bit longer, maybe do some upgrades and have some fun with it. So the poll was an off-roader or a drift car. I think I got about 350 votes or something. Thank you guys who voted. It was around 80% for off-road car. So I found a Jeep on Craigslist. We're gonna load up the old green work truck and head on down. It's in Weir, New Hampshire, which is an hour 10 minutes away, which is an hour 30 minutes when you're driving at the speeds the work truck can go. Anyway, booyah. There she goes. Look at that oil pressure. Perfect. All right, so I'm on my way to my friend's house who's gonna come down with me on this trip and help me load it up, help me film some stuff. All right, so I picked up my friend who's recording me now, and we are headed down to Weir, New Hampshire. The work truck does not go very fast on the interstates, so I'm doing around 60, and it's already above 2,000 RPM and in 4th gear. So a little bit of background on the Jeep. It's actually a wrecked Jeep. It was rolled over in an accident. So my plan is just to get it and then, I don't know, chop the roof off, weld my own roll cage or something, and just have it as an off-road toy and do some modifications to it for YouTube content and stuff like that. So you guys will see it. It looks pretty wrecked right now, but it'll look even more wrecked when I'm finished with it, I guess. Alright, so we're pulling into the drive now.
Onto Old Town Road.
For those of you who know the joke, he lives on Old Town Road, which is kind of funny. There's no street sign, so we can't show you. Oh well.
Continue on Old Town Road for half a mile.
Maybe you heard the GPS there, though. You're hitting the fender. Alright, go straight. Oh, that's touchy. Right, a little bit. Straight. A little bit right. Straight. That's good. Straight. Trying to find a middle stop. Actually, come on closer. Alright, so we picked up the Jeep. You may have saw the video of it loading onto the trailer. As you can see, it's a huge heap of junk, but I think it'll be fun. I don't know, maybe just chop the roof off or something and have an off-roader, because it did run and drive really well, and it will make some good content of me fixing it up too, because it does have some mechanical issues that need to be attended to. We got ourselves a Jeep, and just keep in mind the lift kit costs $3,500 in and of itself. So you may think I got a good deal, you may think I got a terrible deal. I don't know, you decide for yourself. Anyway, let's get home. it's getting darker out. I just wanted to mention that this truck pulls the trailer and the Jeep on it like it's nothing. I still can't go fast, but it just feels the same as when there was no Jeep on it. Anyway, we're going to McDonald's now, and then we'll go home. So you can see we stopped at Subway. I changed my mind for McDonald's. It's leaked a lot of coolant here, which is not surprised just seeing the shape of the radiator. So I'll definitely have to replace that radiator. But there's your update. Now let's get this thing home. Well, we are back home and it's dark, but I made it. So I'll unload this and catch up with you guys in the morning. All right, zoom, there goes Beetle. So last night I took the Jeep off the trailer, put the flatbed or the sides back on the trailer, and parked the Jeep over here next to the Tundra. Look at this beauty. Give you a quick walk around. She's mint. Oh yeah, that'll buff out. Yeah, this guy really did a number on his Jeep. He broke his collarbone from the flip, and he had some other scars and bruises, so the airbags didn't go off or anything. There it is. You know what's mint? Look at these headlights, LEDs, and they still work. Let me pop them on for you real quick. You might need the key on. Oh no, look at that. See? Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and start it up. Show you guys how she sounds. Oh yeah. There she goes. I'm not gonna redline it this early in the morning. Sorry, Beetle. Maybe I'll redline it a little later for the dog. Oh, see this? It makes some noises. But listen to that 4-liter just purr away. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So it actually runs and drives good. There's no power steering right now because there's no fluid in here, and I put some in and it all leaked back out again. And there's no cooling because the rad's busted in. Luckily the trans lines are okay, so it didn't leak any transmission fluid out of there, which made it still be able to drive and stuff. And the tranny fluid is still even pink, look at that. So that's good. Let's see if I can aim that. Oh yeah. So the plan for this Jeep is just to turn it into a awesome mud bogger or off-road machine. Because who cares about aesthetics there? Plus, I think it looks, off-roaders look cooler when they're all beat up. So some things we'll definitely have to take care of is get this windshield out, and I'll either just wear goggles or put like a custom-made like plexiglass kind of thing in there. Probably just the goggles. The inspection sticker on this Jeep suits it quite nicely. Then we got to cut out this dent in the roof or just hammer it out. It's kind of hard to hammer out, I'm sure, but right now it's in the way of where you sit. So if I cut it off, I will weld a new roll cage on because I've gotten better at welding, if you guys can believe it. So I can do that. And the back roof can stay because that's not in the way of anything. Maybe I'll just take all the doors off just for fun. So you can see it has a rough country lift on it. Tires have some tread left on them. I'll let you look. I don't know, maybe 50% or something. He said the lift kit cost him $3,500. You guys can say whether that's accurate or not. I believe him. So some things we got to fix before we send her off-road is the power steering and the cooling. Looks like Fiat Chrysler had similar issues to the General Motors recall because you can take the key out while it's still running. Look at that. I should get a recall for that. Just kidding. Listen to that 4-liter purr. Woo! Oh, 5 pounds of oil pressure is all you need. In all seriousness, I think that gauge is broken. I think he told me something about that. Oh, I'm just gonna bash out this window now, just so that it's not there, I guess, and then I'll vacuum out the interior later. I'll even wear gloves. Look how sick. All right, most of the windshield is gone. I have to really vacuum this up so that beetle doesn't get it and so that one of these nice tires doesn't pick up at one of those pieces of glass. So basically my plan is to chop off the roof and then weld in my own roll cage there, because clearly this Jeep is prone to rolling since it's already rolled once. So I don't want to roll it again and have my head be the crumple zone or whatever. So let me get the saw out and chop off some of this roof so I can sit. Man, I go through these batteries in like half a second. I'll quickly attempt another tool because the other one kept overheating, the metal grinder. I think that blade is supposed to be used on the circular saw, but it didn't fit because it was too big of a wheel, so try this one. We just took her back to OEM standards practically. List this on Craigslist for like 9 grand now. You can sit and everything. There she is. Just add a roll cage there, maybe clean up my cut a little bit. Anyway, now that I can sit in there, I might as well take it for a quick off-road, and I really mean quick because it's got no cooling or power steering. I'm just gonna send it like for 1 minute and then shut it down. Well, there you go. There's my new project Jeep. Keep tuning in to this channel to see more updates on it and more upgrades and whatever I feel like doing to it. See you next week.